started off with, "Don't touch me," what got him here in the first place. No means no, and has meant no since the 5th century, since 400 years after Jesus, since Old English, and I don't mean 40s, since A was the first letter of the alphabet and NO were the 14th and 15th, about the same age as he. When he disrespected, "Don't touch me," and couldn't keep his hands to himself, he was so young, he claimed it was love when it was absolutely something else. But now he's here for her sake in the first place, while puberty is turning him into a chemical reaction, body trying to bag matters of the heart. He was looking for love in all the wrong places, and now this is the wrong place, where love is looking for him like payback, like power, like the kind of love that is not allowed, where his no became "don't touch me," and now he just keeps his hands to himself. All he wants to do now is keep his hands to himself. Keep his hands off the teacher ever since she became a test. Keep his hands off other prisoners ever since they became protection. Keep his hands off of the foes who've made him pretend they're friends, who won't let him refuse the gifts they say he's earned from them. Keep his eyes off the guard's privacy exposed. Keep his mouth and his ears so closed. He couldn't even hear himself screaming no. Like he couldn't hear her scream no. And no body deserves this. He desperately wishes to keep his body to himself. There are 90,000 of him, young enough to stay out of the pen if we let them, too grown to be kids because we left them out there, though they're never left alone in here. Maybe our solutions are opposite our problems, barring a proposition, más y menos, here and there, outside or in. We are harvesting the humanity from our children. We are using them for their skin, defining a generation by lost innocence. And this senselessness isn't young, it's old. It's the practice of damaging souls, not just the perpetrator and victim's own. Bystanders also report being afraid to be alone, which leaves us all feeling betrayed when the traitor's home, when the trust is broken. And we can never go back to being fixed. Our culture needs more than a fix. It needs correction. Resuscitate the idea of rehabilitation by mouth to mouth, meaning if you see something, call it out. Problems always begin with the things we don't talk about. And when we don't feel safe coming out, they don't feel safe coming out. Your sexuality is not an invitation, regardless of your orientation, age, gender, or clout. Whether you are a guard or a juvenile being processed downtown, you have the right to love yourself, and no one has the right to rape that love out of you. The adults are here to help, not help themselves. And contrary to popular belief, you students are here to be protected, not because society needs to be protected from you. We are misconduct. In the absence of parents and practice, partners, and positive expressions of passion, we feel emotionally bankrupt, broke, never learned to be loved whole. So we try to fill love holes with other people, each other's people, and it's a problem, inside and out. It's the seeds of doubt, sprouting a forest of fear, rivering tears, and doing years. And we should be coming here to find out who we are, not get lost. We should be coming here to check in, not check out. This is a family, Like brothers and sisters should respect each other's boundaries. Like when they don't, they are sent to their room. Every family has rules. Like older than biblical rules, like evolutionary rules, like mammal rules, like brothers and sisters shouldn't make babies, like babies shouldn't make babies, like the act of making babies should be reserved to those for whom we are not related until we exchange rings and get related. Like, you know what I'm saying? In this family, brother's keeper means speaking up, but it doesn't mean sleeping in your brother's bunk. Where the sisterhood of the traveling pants means wearing pants at all times. It means you ask your sister why she's crying and you tell somebody. In this family, children only get touched with words, never with hands, lest they're looking for contraband, stopping a tantrum, or breaking up a fight. Where they never touch you there, because there is never all right. In this family, adult language is reserved for outside the big house. Never comment on how any family member looks in those jeans, especially since we don't wear jeans in this family, where we don't whistle where you from or what's up. In this family, we model behavior for our young, and the young ain't models. They are daughters and sons. This is a family, just like any family, minus the kisses and hugs. Just like the military is a family, minus the guns, where superior officers are never allowed to be romantically involved with enlisted personnel, where the only acceptable whistleblowing comes from bona fide soldiers who never get called snitches and instead get an award, where retaliation is against the law, where sexual activity is impractical on the front line because you could get fired, and by fired, I mean die. This is a family. Just like a team, it takes us all to win. A different kind of together. The kind that makes this family better in the end. If you see something, say something. Silence is the only threat to our safety. We can't help what we don't know, but we all know it when we see it. We are not all perpetrators, nor are we all victims, but we will all witness. Consider yourself lucky if you haven't yet. Consider yourself naive if you think you never will. Bullies come in every age, sex, and size, in every shade of orange or blue. There is not always strength in numbers. Sometimes one or two will do a number on you. Sometimes it's a few. So find trust in at least one and take them with you. Be aware of corners, shadows, and closets. Pay attention to others' eyes and your own guts. Street smarts are the spidey sense you were born with, and always being aware of your surroundings is a plus. Always let someone know where you are, so they'll come looking for you if you are missing too long. The only gift you should accept is that call from the law granting you freedom. I promise there's nothing anyone in here can promise you that will beat that. And remember, when you're under the influence, you can't fight back. Not taking candy from strangers is a trick you should have learned way back and after it's happened. Whether you've been more than pat-frisked or showered with, whatever, or a bystander. No, it's not your fault, but you can help it not happen again. Inside these walls, word travels like a wildfire, raging for what often feels like weeks, months, and years. No water. Just like a fire, this problem won't go away without firefighters, even when your body is proof. When you are careful to not shower, wear the ash, soot, and smell of what you've witnessed as evidence that there is a problem, even when you seek immediate medical attention to show the carbon still in your lungs, that's been making it difficult to breathe since. Even when everyone smells smoke and denies it, sees you on fire, and no one lifts a finger, not even to let you go. You can still call for help. Literally call for help. Call your relatives on the outside. Call your lawyer. Call somebody and tell them that there is a fire. And if nobody does anything about it, it will spread. Tell them to send help, because they will. Tell them there are lives at stake, because there are. And you will be a hero to yourself and others, because you will survive. And your survival reminds us that the fire doesn't always win.